This is HCTV.
So, guys, social media has became a big part of our lives these past years. It has a lot of great benefits, like being able to communicate with each other, with your friends, with people you might not like see often, right? But on the opposite side, social media has also played a major role in influencing teenagers. So, do you think that social media has impacted mental health in teenagers positively or negatively?
Both. It really depends what you're looking at, because what you said before, it impacts us positively because we get to, talk to our friends, we get to see them. And you could also see, like, I don't know, you're scrolling through TikTok and see something funny, like that affects you positively, right? But on the other hand, there's a lot of negative things too. Just, well, like with anything really, there's lots of positives and negatives, but this, I don't think social media has been not really a thing long enough, because it's been a long time, but I think a lot of teenagers are still new to it. Like, we've only been on it for a couple of years, and we're still kind of like totally figuring things out. It's weird. I don't know how to really explain this, but we don't know the long-term mental health effects because we simply haven't been alive long enough to experience them. But I feel like it does definitely affect you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think like on the surface, you get to chat with your friends, you get to see updates, like maybe get a laugh. But then when you really like analyze what you're seeing like you're sometimes comparing yourself, and like you see some things sometimes that you don't want to see. But oftentimes like you just focus on the positive stuff when really there are negative stuff coming into your feed.
I agree. I think that we shape the way that our social media is, because a lot of things are catered to us and like what you like seeing on social media. So, like Instagram and TikTok, they have like algorithms, and they feed you stuff that like you have seen in the past and that like you interact with in the past. And so I think you kind of customize your own feed and like what you see. And I think like if you're looking at stuff like baking, if that's what you like, and if that comes up on your feed, then like that's something that would improve your mental health and that might make you happier. But if you're seeing like Instagram models or things like that, that might not be good for your mental health necessarily. So I think it's kind of, you have to pick and choose what you like seeing, what you don't like seeing. And then there's like a function on Instagram that's like not interested. And if you don't like it, you can just click the not interested, and then Instagram will be less likely to show you things like that in the future.
Bacon?
Bacon.
No, baking, Dustin.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. I was so confused.
Yeah,
I was like, that is so random, Shania. Like, that came out of nowhere.
This is
like,
supposed to be a serious topic, and Dustin's like, bacon?
I was so, what is potato, pumpkin, bacon? Oh my gosh.
We are becoming a cooking podcast.
We're just incapable of having a serious conversation.
Yeah, because I swear, I thought she said bacon, and I was so confused. But I kind of get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, well, going back into the serious side of things, like, it really does do a number on your mental health if you can't. I've kind of learned how to like focus and be like, okay, and learn to be happy for people. Because if you see somebody, for example, at a water park, they're having tons of, like, pre-COVID, I guess, they're at like a water park having tons of fun. And, instead of thinking, oh, it's like, I want to be there. But for me, I would think, oh, that's cool, they're having fun. Like, I have learned to be happy for people like that, but I know it was hard for me to learn to be happy for them. And I know that sounds really bad, but like you automatically want to assume the worst, and you kind of have to teach yourself not to think like that, but it is really hard.
I'm going to tell you, I personally think that social media can be very beneficial as long as the user uses it correctly. Because, I mean, it's all about managing your own mental thought, right?
Hmm.
And it's like this is a platform that provides you the opportunity to talk with family that you haven't got to talk to in years, and see what everyone is up to.
especially
Um,
during these times. These, yeah,
especially now where you can't
Yeah.
even leave your house, and it's different than just a call or something. So if used correctly, if you don't scroll for hours a day comparing yourself, because that can only
Yeah.
lead to negativity. But if
Comparing
you're,
is a huge thing that
yeah,
is, it's
that's
awful.
huge. Yeah, and it will kill you. So don't do that. But I think that if used correctly, you can. There's a lot of advantages to it as well, as long as it's
Mhm.
not overused.
Yeah, usage is, well, everything. Like, it's supposed to be in moderation. Like, if you eat too much chocolate, you're gonna get sick. Like, I feel like social media is great, but if there's too much of it, then it can become detrimental. It can become addictive. It can become negative for your mental health.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
especially
you don't even realize how much time you're spending. Like you could be going for hours, and then you look up and
Unless you like,
I spent 3 hours on Instagram. And I think like screen time, now there's like screen time on iPhones. That's like a good way to like
it
evaluate
shows you
yourself
like,
and be like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
I spent this much time on Instagram this week. That's not a good thing. I should
Hmm.
work on like regulating myself in the
I
future.
think I spend like 27 hours like a week on Snapchat, which is not good. I need to really tone that down a little bit. But I
How are you
mean, it
gonna
really
say a
is kind of like
day?
a, no, 27 hours a day.
That's a lot,
That's not even possible. But
unless you're really speedy.
I feel like it is a good wake up call to be like, okay, it really lets you see like, wow, I'm spending a lot of time. I should probably cut down. And I think it really does help monitor like, okay, you should stop. And then hopefully you do, but people continue anyway sometimes. Is there
I
like a microwave or something in the background? I just hear like beeping.
Oh yeah, that's mine. It's a
Mm,
stove. I'm sorry. Oh,
mm.
can you hear it still?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
You
I
can't hear
agree
my.
with all your points, right? I think social media can be very beneficial in reconnecting people and reconnecting with your friends. But at the same time, if we focus too much on like what other people are doing, right,
Hmm.
instead of appreciating what we have and what we've got, I think it can be very it can affect us negatively, right, if we take it too far.
For sure. Yeah.
And I think also in terms of like mental health and social media, not just social media, even like YouTube or like Netflix or just like technology in general, I think that does take a toll on your mental health because you're not like you're spending a lot of time and you're not being as productive as you could be.
Yeah.
Like doing some hobbies, like you could be learning a new instrument, you could be like cooking, and like those are things that contribute to like positive mental health. Whereas like if you're not being productive, if you've done like nothing all day except like watch TV, that's not a good thing.
I agree. I definitely think like with social media and that, you're not going to gain any new skills or learn any new things to improve your mindset with
Hmm.
doing that for 3 hours a day compared to a hobby such as like learning a musical instrument or something. Something that I think people need to realize is that there is a difference between pleasure and happiness. This social media platforms, they give us pleasure, which is a feeling of happiness, right? But it's not to last, and it's not
Exactly.
sustainable. So I just don't feel like it's beneficial if used incorrectly. I really do feel like it can give you like so many positive
Hmm.
benefits, but at the same time, it should not be overused. And I think that there's a lot of other things that would be even better for your health than
Yeah.
that.
And even going back to our like comparing point, I think mindset is a huge thing that
100%.
really, yeah, mindset is, because like the whole saying goes like mind over matter. Like what your mindset is and what you think matters a lot. Because if you, like, for example, what I said before, like if you see your friends all having fun, instead of saying, oh, I wish I was there, why am I not having this much fun, why am I sitting around at home, you know, you could say, oh, I'm happy for them, they're having fun, it looks like a great time. And the mindset really does matter. And a lot of people just, because it's easy to stay in the mindset of, oh, why am I not there, it's easy to just stay there and kind of ignore it. But it is really, you know, it's better if you try and get out. But I know it's hard for some people, and it was really hard for me too. But I do think mindset is a big thing, and social media is kind of an enabler of that. Like if you have the mindset of, oh, I wish I was there, then social media is a massive enabler of that, because the whole point is to see what other people are doing. And you could, Dustin, you have like a face of disapproval. Like, do you have like a
No,
rebuttal coming up?
Gio, I just want to know. You keep bringing up that example. Is
I
something
can't
going on?
with water parks.
Is something going on? Like, are your friends going to the water park without you or something?
No, I don't think they're even open anymore, are they?
Because no, they're not. But there's other things going on, and I think
Well,
you and I
water
need to
park was
socially distant hang out. That's what I think needs to be done, Gio.
we should
Hit
like
my line up, come over,
go to the
outside,
park.
6 feet apart, on a walk, following
Just
all the
talk it.
guidelines. Just want to
Yeah.
make that clear. and damn it, hang out with me, man.
I don't, yes, for sure. But I don't have anything against water parks. I just kept using that example and thought it was a good example.
Yeah, going back to like Gio's point of comparison, yeah, I think it's easy for us to, even with self-image, to compare
Mhm.
ourselves against, like, you know, this guy looks better, he's more fit, or this girl looks, you know, better and whatever, right? And I think social media has really enabled us to do that and like compare ourselves to each other, right? But
Mhm.
I think it's important to have a mindset to understand that everyone's different, everyone has different features, right? And they're all, you know, unique and special to us, right?
But
So
you
Yeah.
know what? They're not only just different and unique. In all reality, they're edited. Social media, like every single post,
Yeah.
especially celebrities, they'll spend hours just editing a single picture to make
Or
themselves look better.
they'll like do a specific pose or like stand in front of a window to get sunlight. Like that's not what they look like all the time. They're doing things to make them look better. And that's a big thing too, because your brain says, oh, they look like that all the time, even though they really don't.
And also, another thing that goes with that is a lot of people who post on social media, they're like posting the highlights of their life. Like they're posting the best
Yeah.
moments where
They're
like
only posting the highs. They're
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 not
not going in the lows.
posting when they're like sad or angry or upset. And like a lot of times you don't realize that those people also are going through stuff in their lives. Like they might be like sad, they might be facing some stuff. Like you don't know. All
Mhm.
the picture, you don't know how they're feeling. So
For me, what I was going to say is social media is, it's not social media that's so much the bad thing. I think it's just the people who are on it, because social media at the end of the day is just an enabler. It's just enables us to put ourselves out there. It enables us to look at other people, see what they're doing. And I think it's, again, the whole mindset thing. And I think social media is just, we have that whole like mindset that it's social media's fault. We don't want to put the blame on ourselves. And I'm not saying it's our fault that we feel bad. I'm just saying that like social media wasn't, its purpose wasn't to make others feel bad. Its purpose wasn't to like compare yourselves to other people. Its purpose was just to put yourself out there. And if people want to put the good parts of themselves out there, then be my guest, go ahead. But I think some people are just saying, I don't know. There's just like, it's the whole image and it's the whole mindset thing that I think really gets to people.
Yeah, I think the
totally
way
agree.
like social media developed, like what if we all just started posting like like random things we do in a day, but instead a lot of people like post like amazing pictures of themselves. And I think like if everyone like started posting more like relaxed posts, a lot of people's mental health would definitely improve.
Hmm.
yeah, because you get to see like the raw of like someone.
Like the genuine version
Yeah.
of them, not like
Yeah.
the edited. Yeah.
Well, that's something that we have to understand is that we are never going to see inside of people's lives. Like there is a closed door that we cannot get through.
Exactly. It's like the whole like, what if a butcher was made of, like what if the butcher building was made of glass? Like you don't, it's almost like they don't want us to see the raw version. Well, maybe they do, but the whole thing is like a lot of people put up those walls and they put up like they
Hey,
basically
don't
make
be
themselves.
don't be dissing the butcher shops,
I'm
man.
not this. Oh wait, you
Don't
work
diss.
out.
No, I will stand my territory for that
No,
one.
no, no. This is just an example because people don't want to see like pigs getting their heads chopped off. Like,
We do
anyways,
everything ethically, so
yeah,
we give
but
a little kiss on the pig's nose before we cut his head off. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but
that's funny.
yeah, going back to like that topic, I think at the end of the day, you just have to realize that, you just have to appreciate what you have, and,
Yeah.
the people you have
100%.
around you, and,
course.
what's
Mhm.
going on, because you never know. And, it's important to build self esteem, and to, appreciate yourself, your qualities, your talents, your looks, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like you
'Cause
could use social media to do that, right? But I think social media is, it could be, yeah, it could be beneficial or negative
yeah.
depending on your mindset and how you take it and how you, like, you know retrieve that data. And so,
Mhm.
You
This
go.
was actually a really good conversation. It was really interesting.
I'd like to say, like, I definitely agree with you, Joe. That mindset portion of it, that's really important
Mhm.
because there's what is the saying? I'm totally not gonna get this first try, but you guys gotta like help me through this
Is it
one.
like the mind over matter one, or is there like
It's
something else?
the when there's a ship in the sea.
oh,
Mhm.
Gio's got this. Ship
Yeah,
and sea,
Gio,
Gio's got this.
say it because there's it's not about the one with the boats and the no. Um, I'm gonna look it up. Take
It's
this
not
part
whatever
out.
floats your boat. It's not whatever floats
No,
your
it's
boat.
not whatever floats your boat or
Whatever
whatever
weighs your
waves
ship.
your ship.
Yep.
That was my bad. I didn't know.
Quote. Oh, sorry.
That was loud.
Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
That's a
Right?
good quote.
That's really good.
The biggest ship in the whole wide world, or the small. Okay, how about this? The smallest ship in the whole wide world in the biggest ocean is not going to sink unless you let the water in it.
Yeah,
Are
because
you
it'll
getting the
just
correlation I'm making,
yeah.
or do I have to like explain
No, I
this?
get it. I get it. So basically, learn to accept what's around you instead of letting it get to you and like letting it weigh you down.
Oh, and like another metaphor is the one with like the potato and the
The
egg.
potato! Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's like the same water that boils the potato, that's often, oh my God.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Yes.
Wow, the same boiling water that hardens the egg softens the potato. It's not about your circumstances, it's about what you're made of.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the quote.
Mhm.
Another way that you kind of get to understand that like your mind, like everybody is put in the same environment. Everybody like sees
Mhm.
on social media. It's just like it depends on like how you like what you're
Take
made,
it. And, yeah.
what you're made of.
I was also going to say, at the end of the day, we're just people. There's no reason to envy others, or there's no reason. Well, there you shouldn't envy others. You should be, grateful for what you have, and like, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not
Appreciate the people
pro
around
envy.
you, the qualities,
Yeah,
talents, and all that.
I'm not pro envying people. I'm just, anyways. There's like we're just people, and I think we should just learn to accept each other. And people are flawed. Everyone's flawed. There's no such thing as a perfect person, and I feel like social media is making us believe that less and less. And I think it's really important that we say, oh, we see this, like beautiful picture, and it's like, oh, that person's perfect, but really, they're not, and no one's perfect. So, and I think it's just important to accept that we're all just people at the end of the day, and we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to others, and just being appreciative of what we have. Oh wait,
100%.
I got a good quote. We should be appreciative of what we have instead of wishing for what we don't have.
Yes.
This has quickly turned into like a quote podcast where we just read all the best quotes.
Inspirational.
It's like
quotes,
the poetic podcast.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, those quotes really, they have deep meanings and they're really important. And
Mhm.
they can help you through tough times, and really they're really
You need quotes
Mhm.
in an English essay.
It's like those TikTok accounts where it's like the sad quote ones.
That's
It's like
sad.
the or like the
Yeah. Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so to finish off this section, just we'd like to remind you, just like, you're perfect the way you are, honestly, right? Appreciate what you have and the people around you, the qualities you have. Don't settle for anything less. Don't go around believing that you're worth less than somebody else, right?
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes, and just learn from them and improve, and live your life.
That's what it's about.
Inspirational speaker.
Couldn't have
Inspirational
said it
speaker
better
right
myself. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Man.
This is HCTV.